Bella's fingers hovered over the keyboard as she typed out the last few sentences of her email. She leaned back in her chair, letting out a sigh of relief. The house was silent, the only sound the soft hum of the air conditioning. It was a typical summer afternoon, and she was grateful for the tranquility. Bella had always been a dedicated mother and wife, but now that her children were grown and her husband Mark was often away on business trips, she found herself yearning for something more. The days seemed to blend together in a monotonous routine, and she craved a sense of excitement, of passion that had long been absent from her life. Her thoughts were interrupted by the sound of a key turning in the front door. Bella's heart skipped a beat as Owen entered the house, his presence filling the room with an energy she couldn't ignore. Owen was their tenant, a charismatic and charming young man who had moved into the guest house a few months ago. He was in his late 20s, nearly 2 decades younger than Bella, and had quickly become a part of their lives. "Hey, Bella," Owen greeted her with a warm smile. "How's your day going?" Bella smiled back, trying to keep her emotions in check. "It's been good, Owen. Just finished some work. How about you?" "Same here. Just finished my shift at the cafe." Owen walked over to the kitchen, grabbing a bottle of water from the fridge. "Any plans for tonight?" Bella shook her head. "Not really. Mark's away again, so it's just me. Maybe I'll catch up on some reading." Owen leaned against the counter, his eyes locking onto hers. "Mind if I join you? I've been meaning to start a new book myself." Bella's heart fluttered at his suggestion. She knew it was innocent enough, but the way he looked at her made her pulse quicken. "Sure, I'd like that." As the evening wore on, Bella and Owen found themselves engrossed in their books, sitting side by side on the living room couch. The atmosphere was comfortable, yet charged with an undercurrent of unspoken tension. Bella couldn't help but steal glances at Owen, admiring the way the light from the lamp cast shadows on his face. "Do you ever feel like you're missing something in life?" Owen asked suddenly, his voice breaking the silence. Bella looked up, startled by the question. "What do you mean?" Owen set his book down, turning to face her. "I mean, do you ever feel like there's something more out there for you? Something you're not getting from your current life?" Bella's breath caught in her throat. It was as if he had read her mind. "Sometimes," she admitted softly. "Sometimes I do." Owen's eyes softened with understanding. "I feel the same way. There's so much I want to do, so much I want to experience, but I feel like I'm stuck in this routine, and I don't know how to break free." Bella's heart ached at his words. She knew exactly how he felt. "It's hard," she said quietly, "but sometimes we have to take risks to find what we're looking for." Owen's gaze intensified, and Bella felt a magnetic pull between them. It was as if the world had narrowed down to just the two of them, their emotions laid bare. Without thinking, she reached out and placed her hand on his. The touch was electric, sending a jolt through both of them. Owen's eyes widened, but he didn't pull away. Instead, he intertwined his fingers with hers, the connection deepening. "Bella," he whispered, his voice filled with longing. Before she could respond, the doorbell rang, shattering the moment. Bella quickly withdrew her hand, her heart pounding. She stood up, trying to compose herself. "I'll get it," she said, her voice unsteady. As she opened the door, she was greeted by Mrs. Haverford, their elderly neighbor. "Hello, Bella dear. I was wondering if you could help me with something." Bella forced a smile, grateful for the distraction. "Of course, Mrs. Haverford. What do you need?" As she assisted their neighbor, Bella's mind kept drifting back to Owen. She knew she was playing with fire, but the pull she felt towards him was undeniable. She had to be careful to keep her emotions in check, but it was becoming increasingly difficult. Over the next few weeks, Bella and Owen's connection grew stronger. They spent more time together, their conversations becoming deeper and more intimate. They shared their hopes, their dreams, and their fears, finding solace in each other's company. Bella knew it was wrong, knew she was betraying her husband's trust, but she couldn't help herself. Owen made her feel alive in a way she hadn't felt in years. One evening, as they sat on the porch watching the sunset, Owen turned to her, his eyes filled with intensity. "Bella, I can't keep pretending anymore. I have feelings for you, strong feelings. and I think you feel the same way." Bella's heart raced as she met his gaze. She knew this moment was inevitable, but she wasn't prepared for it. "Owen, He cut her off, placing a finger on her lips. "You don't have to say anything. I just needed you to know." Before she could respond, he leaned in and kissed her. It was a gentle, tentative kiss, but it sent a shockwave through her body. Bella's mind screamed at her to stop, but her heart overpowered her. She kissed him back, pouring all her pent-up emotions into that one moment. When they finally pulled away, both were breathless. "We can't do this," Bella whispered, tears forming in her eyes. "It's wrong." Owen cupped her face in his hands, his expression filled with determination. "I don't care about right or wrong. I care about you. I love you, Bella." The words hit her like a ton of bricks. She had known it all along, but hearing him say it made it real. "I love you too," she admitted, her voice breaking. From that moment on, their relationship became a whirlwind of passion and secrecy. They stole moments together whenever they could, their desire for each other growing with each passing day. Bella knew they were living on borrowed time, that their affair couldn't last forever, but she was too caught up in the intensity of their emotions to care. Their secret relationship was thrilling, but it was also fraught with tension. Bella was constantly on edge, afraid that Mark would find out. She knew she was risking everything, but she couldn't bring herself to end it. Owen was her escape, her sanctuary from the monotony of her life. One night, as they lay in each other's arms, Owen spoke the words Bella had been dreading. "We need to tell him." Bella's heart stopped. "Tell who?" "Mark. We can't keep this a secret forever. It's not fair to him." Bella sat up, panic rising in her chest. "Are you crazy? Hell be devastated. Hell hate us both." Owen sat up as well, taking her hand in his. "I know it's hard, but he deserves to know the truth. We can't keep living like this." Bella's mind raced. She knew Owen was right, but the thought of confronting Mark was terrifying. She had built her entire life with him, and the idea of tearing it all apart was too much to bear. "I don't know if I can do it," she whispered. Owen's expression softened. "I'll be with you every step of the way. We'll face it together." Bella took a deep breath, trying to steady her nerves. She knew she couldn't keep running from the truth. It was time to face the consequences of her actions. The next day, Bella asked Mark to meet her at their favorite restaurant. It was a place filled with memories, a symbol of their love and commitment. As they sat across from each other, Bella's heart pounded in her chest. She could feel Owen's reassuring presence nearby, hidden in the shadows, ready to step in if needed. "Mark, there's something I need to tell you," Bella began, her voice trembling. Mark looked at her with concern. "What is it, Bella? You look so serious." Tears welled up in Bella's eyes as she struggled to find the words. "I've been seeing someone else," she blurted out, unable to hold back any longer. Mark's face went pale, his eyes widening in shock. "What? How could you?" Bella reached across the table, taking his hand. "I'm so sorry, Mark. I never meant to hurt you. It just happened." Mark pulled his hand away, his expression filled with pain and betrayal. "Who is it?" Bella hesitated, knowing that revealing Owen's identity would only make things worse. "It doesn't matter who. What matters is that I've made a terrible mistake and I'm so sorry." Mark stood up abruptly, knocking over his chair. "I can't believe this. How long has this been going on?" Bella stood as well, tears streaming down her face. "A few months. Please, Mark. I know I've hurt you, but I still love you. I want to make things right." Mark's eyes filled with anger as he turned to leave. "I don't know if I can ever forgive you, Bella. You've destroyed everything." As Mark stormed out of the restaurant, Bella sank back into her chair, her body trembling with emotion. She felt a hand on her shoulder and looked up to see Owen standing beside her, his expression filled with concern. "You did the right thing," he said softly. Bella nodded, though her heart felt heavy with guilt and regret. She had no idea what the future held, but she knew she couldn't keep living a lie. Over the next few weeks, Bella and Mark tried to navigate the aftermath of her confession. Mark moved out of the house, staying with a friend while they figured out their next steps. Bella felt the weight of her actions every day. the pain of losing Mark, and the uncertainty of her future with Owen. Owen was her rock, supporting her through the difficult times. Their relationship grew stronger as they faced the challenges together, but Bella couldn't shake the feeling of guilt that lingered in her heart. One evening, as Bella sat alone in the house, she received a text message from Mark. It was a simple message, asking if they could meet to talk. Bella's heart raced as she replied, agreeing to meet him at the park where they had shared so many memories. As Bella arrived at the park, she saw Mark sitting on a bench, staring out at the lake. She approached him cautiously, her heart pounding in her chest. "Mark," she said softly, sitting down beside him. Mark turned to look at her, his expression unreadable. "Bella, I've been doing a lot of thinking." Bella nodded, waiting for him to continue. "I've been angry, hurt, and betrayed. But I also realize that I haven't been there for you the way I should have. My work has taken me away from you, and I've neglected our relationship." Bella's eyes filled with tears. "Mark, I'm so sorry. I never meant to hurt you." Mark took a deep breath. "I know, Bella, and I want to try to make things right. I don't know if we can ever go back to the way things were, but I want to try." Bella's heart ached at his words. She had been so focused on her own feelings that she hadn't considered the impact her actions had on Mark. "I want that too, Mark. I want us to be a family again." Mark reached out and took her hand, squeezing it gently. "It won't be easy, but I'm willing to give it a try if you are." Bella nodded, her heart filled with hope. "I'm willing." As they sat together, watching the sunset, Bella felt a sense of peace she hadn't felt in a long time. She knew the road ahead would be difficult, but she was ready to face it with Mark by her side. In the weeks that followed, Bella and Mark began the slow process of rebuilding their relationship. They attended counseling sessions, worked on their communication, and made a conscious effort to spend more time together. It wasn't easy, and there were moments of doubt and frustration, but they were committed to making it work. Owen, understanding the importance of their reconciliation, gradually distanced himself from Bella. It was painful for both of them, but they knew it was the right thing to do. Owen decided to move out of the guest house and find a new place to live, giving Bella and Mark the space they needed to heal. As Bella watched Owen pack his belongings, she felt a deep sense of sadness. "I'll miss you," she said softly. Owen smiled, his eyes filled with warmth. "I'll miss you too, Bella, but I know this is the right thing for all of us." Bella nodded, fighting back tears. "Thank you for everything, Owen. You've been a good friend." Owen pulled her into a hug, holding her tightly. "Take care of yourself, Bella, and take care of Mark. You both deserve to be happy." As Owen drove away, Bella felt a mix of emotions: sadness, gratitude, and hope. She knew she had a long way to go, but she was determined to make things right. Months passed, and Bella and Mark's relationship continued to improve. They rediscovered the love and passion that had brought them together in the first place, and their bond grew stronger with each passing day. Bella learned to appreciate the small moments of joy and connection, realizing that true happiness came from the simple things in life. One evening, as they sat together on the porch, Mark took Bella's hand and looked into her eyes. "Bella, I want you to know that I forgive you. I forgive you for everything." Tears filled Bella's eyes as she squeezed his hand. "Thank you, Mark. That means more to me than you could ever know." Mark smiled, his eyes filled with love. "I love you, Bella, and I'm grateful for the second chance we've been given." Bella leaned in and kissed him, her heart overflowing with emotion. "I love you too, Mark, more than words can say." As they held each other, Bella felt a deep sense of peace and contentment. She had learned that love wasn't always easy, but it was worth fighting for. And in the end, it was love that had brought them back together, stronger and more resilient than ever before. The journey had been difficult, filled with pain and heartache, but it had also been a journey of growth and transformation. Bella had discovered her own strength, learned to forgive herself, and found a renewed sense of purpose and meaning in her life. And as she looked into Mark's eyes, she knew that their love was a testament to the power of forgiveness, the resilience of the human spirit, and the enduring strength of the bonds that held them together.